Hopefully that worked. Oh my god. Okay, cool. Oh, what? Okay. We're all good. Hello, Cinema Peeps!
Hey, Cinema Peeps!
Happens all the time when you're like, I'm ready to do my thing, and then the world's like, excuse me, hi. No, hi, me.
Yeah, I need to speak to you, please.
Okay, that reminds me, before I forget. So, this long weekend, I had another dream, and I think we need to talk, Kendra.
Oh, okay.
So
should I be worried?
No, I need to be worried. This is the second dream I've had where you've replaced me on the podcast. So can you tell me?
Girl, I would never. Oh my god.
Because
do we have trust issues?
I don't know. I mean, I think in my dream I'm not mad. I'm just confused. Because the first one was your sister, which I was like, okay, that's reasonable. And then this time around, it was Katie Sackhoff from The Mandalorian and Flash. So,
wow.
I mean, I'm glad we're we're still got that female representation.
Yeah.
But like, what'd I do, girl?
Honestly, you are irreplaceable, girl. Nobody could replace you on the podcast. I mean, Katie Sackhoff will be a cool guest. So, hey, Katie Sackhoff, if you're out there, you want to come hang out with a couple of fun girls.
But you're not replacing me.
Nah, never.
This is my free job that I don't get paid at, so you can't take it from me. You can't take it. I just thought that was so funny. I was like, again? How? Why? What is happening?
You're like, why is this happening?
Pretty much. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, that was my fun dream trip this weekend. It was good times.
Oh my gosh.
But I did finally get around to watch Marvel's What If series.
Ooh.
How about yourself? Did you watch anything new this week?
I did. New-ish. Technically not new, but not new, but not new. So
It's new to you, then it's fine.
Yeah, right? I watched Jungle Cruise.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I bit the bullet and ended up buying it on Disney Plus because I just didn't have the means to go to the theater just yet. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to create my own theater. I've got the big projector screen downstairs. I'll just watch it. Why not? So yeah, I watched Jungle Cruise and I watched finally the live action Mulan.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right, let's start. I guess it's a Disney theme this episode.
It is.
So
yeah.
I just want to get into Jungle Cruise because it's fun.
Yes.
I want to talk about Jungle Cruise. It's so much fucking fun. So much fucking fun. What are words? I don't even know anymore.
Oh, man. I gotta say, like, going into it, I had zero expectations. I watched the episode of the Behind the Attraction thing that you told me to watch just to kind of like give you more appreciation for it. So I loved that. I thought that was cool. And it, like I said, I think I mentioned this last time on the podcast, but like I've been to Disneyland and I've rode on the Jungle Cruise before. So just getting kind of like a refresher from watching the Behind the Attraction thing was fun to see because I was like, yeah, I remember they like would always throw out the jokes and the puns and like that's my life. Like I love freaking dad jokes. So I was like, yeah, this is great. And then when they kind of showed that little like teaser of The Rock being like, that's the whole reason I signed up to do this is because I just wanted to say the backside of water. So I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
Right.
But yeah, no, just like a quick summary of my thoughts and then we'll get into like a discussion of it. But you know, like I said, I didn't know what to expect. At first, I felt it was a little weird because I wasn't 100% sure what they were trying to set up with the characters. But then once they kind of like explained The Rock's character more in depth, I was like, okay, now this is interesting. This is cool. Okay. So yeah, I enjoyed it overall.
That scene confused me so much. I was like, oh, homeboy's dead. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, there's this whole scene where they're in a village and then the,
although him with long hair, I mean, like...
yeah, I just was like... I'm like, why do they do this to this man every time? They're
right?
Like, you know what would be really great? If we put him in a wig all the time. Why? Whatever.
Yeah.
What else? But yeah, when he gets stabbed and he's, like, thrown in the river, and I was like, well, he's dead. So when they find him, and I was like... explanation, please?
Yeah, and he's perfectly fine, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what the actual fuck? But yeah, like, I don't know, it was just, like, such a good time.
It reminded me of, like, old school Disney adventure films. Like, for me specifically, like, I don't know if you've ever seen any of, like, the really old school ones, but, like, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and, like, I don't think it's technically a Disney film, but, like, the original Dr. Dolittle. Just, like, it gave me very vintage kind of, like, I want to say, like, 70s, 60s kind of films where it's kind of a long-winded story, like, or like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, I guess, or like Mary Poppins, just those ones that are longer-winded stories, but still really fun adventures throughout. Like, and like I said, like, the beginning kind of dragged a little bit. Like, I felt a little confused as to what was going on with the setup, but once they kind of got into, like, more of his backstory and then all of that kind of stuff, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm into this. Like, I'm on board. Let's do this.
Damn, that's like near the third act, girl. I'm surprised you sat through and you were like, all right.
No, it was good. Like, I was trying to give it a chance because, like, there were a few things still that, like, kept me intrigued. But again, like, I was just kind of like, where are they going with this? Like, I guess I was just trying to figure out how it was connected to the ride and stuff like that, or like what they were trying to do with the story. So I'm like, is he just going to, like, drive them around on a boat and it's just going to be him spewing out jokes and them cringing and rolling their eyes every so often, and then, like, an animal swings in and they've got to, like, do something about it, or like, what's the deal? And then they kind of got more into the story and I was like, okay, cool.
I just what's my thought? When they're doing, like, the how they got cursed segment, and there's just, like, this rocking out guitar the entire time. It was just like, I mean, I'm not mad, but I'm just like, what?
I know, I literally thought the same thing. I'm like, this seems a little out of place, but I'll take it.
Right, they're trying to tell the story is like, oh yeah, like, we portrayed the chief and his daughter.
Yep, shredding guitar.
I was just like, okay.
That's like, have you ever seen Phantom of the Opera, the movie?
I think so, like, once
the Gerard Butler movie. Oh,
yeah.
Same thing in that. There's, like, a part where they're, like, singing about the Phantom of the Opera, and then there's just this, like, one tiny guitar solo, and it's just like, and you're like, it just out of nowhere. It just seems so random. It's hilarious.
But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed everybody in the film. The villain was great. I already forgot his name, but he's like one of those silent actors. He's just, like, everywhere doing stuff, working on his craft, and you're like, damn, boy. He's in Game Night, and he's also on an episode of CSI, so that's
that's right. Oh yeah, people call him what do they call him? Oh god.
Oh no.
What's it called? Damn it!
You got this. I believe in you.
Damn it! I can't think of the phrase, but he's like the B version of Matt Damon, essentially.
Oh, that's mean. He's good.
I know, yeah. That's what I've heard people refer to him as. But no, I think he's hilarious. He was so funny in it.
Boo. How dare they? Yes, he's good. He good. You don't have to be super famous, okay, guys?
Right.
Just enjoy what you do. I remember when they were doing promos for the movie for Jungle Cruise, and I believe, what is his name? Jack White? No, that's not his name. The guy who played the guy who played Emily Blunt's brother.
Oh, okay.
In the film, he was like doing like a quiz or something, and I was like, "Yo, you're in this? I am down." He's like a comedian, and I've seen some of his bits, and they're so funny.
He is quite funny, yeah.
He has this whole bit because I guess he went to school with Robert Pattinson.
Oh, really?
So this whole beef he has with him, it's so funny. And then he was telling a story about how, I guess, when he was in Amsterdam, they were doing some, of course, very legal things. Yeah. And, like, the Google car drove by, like, doing, like, the Google Maps pictures.
Yeah.
And they caught them in the alleyway. And even had the picture up on screen. It was so funny.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, so I knew it. I was like, I'm ready. And he was really funny. I thought him and Emily Blunt's relationship was really great.
I laughed when Emily Blunt had to swim through the cage to open the thing, and she's like panicking, and so he like goes to grab her to like give her air, and she thinks he's coming in for a kiss, so she like headbutts him, and she's like, ah. It's so funny.
Again, in the movie theater, I was like, can we get Mythbusters in on this? Because I'm like, I don't feel like that would work.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're...
Well, I've seen, like, in movies they do that. I've seen that before, where there'd be, like, someone, like, is blowing air into the other person's mouth. I'm like, does that work?
I don't think so, right? Because we take in oxygen, but anytime we're exhaling, it's CO2.
Yeah.
Which is bad.
Right?
Again, it's one of those times you're just like, whatever, I'm here to have a good time. There's that little part of me that's like...
But also, desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess. So
they're fucking gonna die.
If it means it can save your life for a couple seconds, I guess do it, right?
I'm sure... I don't know. Again, I'm not a scientist. I'm sure maybe, like... I know it's not pure CO2, or not CO2, but, I'm sure that maybe there is some remnants of oxygen, and I'm sure, maybe you could still use it to put, Okay, it's one of those moments you just have to be like, whatever.
Yeah.
We're having a good time. Let's do this.
But also Mythbusters, yes, because I love the Mythbusters.
Fuck yeah. It's a good time. I think it's a great movie for family. And I'd say if you don't like dad jokes, then...
Yeah, if you don't like dad
not.
jokes, then you'll really dislike this movie. But if you can... enjoy the dad jokes and the corniness of it, it's an all-around good time.
I genuinely thought you said the horniness of it, and I was like...
No, definitely not.
What Disney movie is this? But, I mean, I think the only... Like, it's sad that you know... I'm still happy you got to see it, even at your own comfort of your own home. But there was just, like, I don't know, seeing it in theaters and just hearing other people just laugh at the dad jokes or be like,
I bet.
Is so good.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was very enjoyable. But anyways, Mulan. Live action Mulan. It's been a hot minute for me, but I'm sure it'll all come flooding back.
Well, I will say, because I know we've talked about it on the podcast before, when you had mentioned that you had seen it, I know I was kind of giving it a little bit of flack, as well as like some of the other live action movies, and I was like, at the time I said I really had no interest in seeing it. So now that time has passed and I've kind of seen other things, done other things, I was like, yeah, you know what, why not? And my mom too, she had heard people say that it was good, so her and I both decided to watch it together, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. I did enjoy it a lot. I know that they, like, because we've talked about it before obviously, but so they don't have the songs in it, and Mushu's not in it, so like they don't have that kind of like humor and stuff like that, but they did definitely like do it justice as far as like incorporating more Chinese culture and like the chi, like finding your chi and stuff like that. And I still enjoyed it, like overall, like you were saying, where she kicks the spear and stuff like that. I was like, oh yeah, that's what Caleigh is talking about. That's awesome. Yeah.
Right. Like, and I know, like, that was a big hot topic for people, but I mean, they still included the songs, but like as like instrumental in the background if you really listen to it. So like I thought that was really nice. But yeah, I think a lot of people were upset because they were like I don't think it was necessarily like, oh, it was the chi, it was just like the rules of it didn't make sense sometimes. Like they obviously changed it to like fit the characters sometimes, and everyone was like, why did the poor witch had to die? Like that was not nice. And it's like, but I guess she was supposed to be the foil to Mulan. But and what was the other thing? I think my gripe is still just the fact that, even though it's supposed to be about Mulan, like her dad is telling majority of the story, which I find weird, just because like Mulan's about defying her family, going away, so it should be like her story, but I'll chalk it up to he is telling other people or something. But I didn't think that was necessary, but meh.
But I feel like that's like a typical like Disney thing to do, is to have either one of the characters kind of narrate the legend or the tale being told or something like that. It's not usually like a self-told thing. But I will say I think it's probably like that one, just in my own opinion, that one and Beauty and the Beast were the only two out of the group of live action films that were made that I actually genuinely enjoyed the most. Obviously, all the other ones have their, pros and cons too, but I just feel like, I don't know, those two honored the story well enough still and incorporated and, modernized it as like in a, for lack of a better term, the most classy way, I guess, without it being too, dry in some senses, but also without it just being a complete and total, let's forget it completely about the old one sort of thing, right? I don't know, like it's hard to say, because like for Aladdin, for me, obviously, like you know, they wanted to make it a little bit more culturally correct and stuff like that. But I guess because, you know, we grew up watching Aladdin, like the original one and stuff like that, you mainly watched it because of the genie, right?
Yeah.
Like Robin Williams is such an iconic actor, so he really like outshone everybody in that film, and it, you know, nothing, no disrespect as far as like the culture and stuff like that within the story, but that's kind of why I guess most people enjoyed the story of Aladdin from the get-go. And I just feel like because Will Smith kind of had a really big shoes to fill in that point, it just wasn't the same, right? So I feel like this version, as interesting as it was, still to kind of incorporate more of the culture of the story and everything like that, it just, it's just kind of like still not as iconic as the original one. But yeah, that's just my opinion.
I think the only one off the top of my head, to be fair, I didn't watch Jungle Book. I didn't really care much for that. I think the only one I was just kind of like meh was Lion King.
Yeah.
I think so far. But like I remember, like I enjoyed Aladdin a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've talked about this before. It's a very fine line between how much of this nostalgia do you honor, how much do you change, and what do you change? How does it all blend together?
Yeah.
And again, as we decided at the end of the day, these are for cha-ching, that sweet cold cash, baby.
Right, yes. Oh, I forgot Cinderella's also another one I enjoyed too. I forgot that they redid that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I go in with it's funny like how I go into movies with like different expectations. Like I went to Jungle Cruise basically kind of the same way when I saw Pirates of the Caribbean. Just like it's based on a ride, you know? Just like this. But I knew like because it obviously has been so successful. But still going in, I was like, let's just do the same, very low expectation. You know? To be fair, I feel like I've lowered my expectations over the years just to make sure that like maybe it's either met or like, oh, just a little bit more. But yeah, going into different expectations now. But yeah. So last up is the Marvel's What If series.
Which, by the way, before you start, I wanted to mention, because I just researched this the other day, you probably already know. So let me know if you do. But, because I've been watching Orphan Black. So I was kind of like scrolling through like the trivia on IMDb and just kind of looking at all the cast members. And then I noticed... I noticed that Tatiana Maslany, is that her name?
I think that's what we agreed on.
I don't know if I pronounced her name properly. But they were showing like a little like featurette. You know how like IMDb kind of has little like featurettes and stuff like that? So they were showing a little featurette about her. And I'm like, oh, what's this about? She's playing She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? That's gonna be awesome. Like, she'll be the best She-Hulk. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
I know very little about She-Hulk. I just care about Tatiana Maslany.
Right?
So, like, that's all I care about.
Like, all I'm picturing in my head is like Helena, but with like green hair, and I'm like, oh man, she'll be the best She-Hulk. Like, it'll be so cool.
I think I saw that too on IMDb, so I'm pretty stoked. Or
yeah, I am so stoked about that. Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, I just, because you were getting into Marvel, so I just wanted to put that in front and be like, but yeah, but anyways.
Fuck yeah. Supporting our girl.
So stoked.
I don't know, are you going to watch What If on Disney Plus?
I'm interested. I would like to check it out.
Okay, so I'll try to not do too many story spoilers.
That's okay. You'll probably make me even more excited to watch it, so.
Excellent. So, okay, so for people who don't know, so the What If series is because they've kind of slowly, especially with Loki, have slowly started introducing the idea of the multiverse to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this TV's What If series is all about, like, little decisions that change. So again, because we've watched, you know, Flash and the Arrowverse, they talk about this all the time, like having
time
different
travel.
Worlds.
It's my jam.
Right? Different worlds, how one decision can change a whole bunch of things. And that's pretty much what this series is about. It reminds me a lot, like, as a kid. To be fair, mostly, I don't know why, as children we're just like, Hulk versus Wolverine, who would win? You know, kind of thing. So that's how I envision this show. It is just like what if this was changed? So the first episode is what if not Captain America took the super soldier serum, but Agent Carter. What if she took the super soldier serum? And it's all done in kind of like this graphic novel-esque animation style, which I personally dig. And yeah, they're just like little 35-minute episodes on like little decisions that are changed. They also put a big emphasis on this character called the Watcher, who's watching the entire time, and he's kind
of... he's like the monitor?
Yeah, he's kind of like, as he puts it, your guide through looking through all these different universes. And, like, I really enjoy the show. To be fair, like, I was excited for it. I just didn't get around to watching the first episode. I ended up almost, like, 4 episodes behind. But then I binged it all in one night, and I just had so much fun. So I'm kind of glad I waited. I think the first one with Agent Carter is still good. But each episode, I think, is kind of getting crazier and funnier.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel this one, because again, it follows like the first Captain fucking America movie.
Yeah.
Like with like the subtle changes of like, oh, because she took the super soldier serum. Good Lord. So it is not super similar to the movie, but it obviously follows very similar beats, but slightly different. Whereas these other ones are getting more and more creative. So like the next episode after that was What If King T'Challa was Star-Lord, which is bonkers. It's so funny. And what was really nice is I know Chadwick Boseman was still able to voice his character before he passed.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they paid a nice tribute to him, so it was really nice.
That's cool.
And then the third episode is what if someone was murdering all the Avengers, and it's like this weird style of like, it's not quite a murder mystery, but it was just like, it's like, I can't remember what they're parroting. I feel like I've seen it before. I just don't know where it's like, it's basically like Nick Fury having like the worst week of his life, and it's like Monday, Tuesday, and all the Avengers are dying, and they're like, what the fuck? And then 4 was pretty fucking trippy. It is what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands?
Ooh.
That's one of the only episodes where his character interacts with the Watcher, so that's kind of cool. And then this last one is what happens if everyone got turned into zombies.
Ooh, damn.
So again, these are, in my mind, these are just like fun little what if scenarios.
Yeah.
So sometimes like, so sorry, I will get into my biggest, so I was really enjoying the series, and I still do. And I would recommend it to anyone, like it's a fun time. But when I went on to IMDb, the reviews for it were so conflicting. It was bonkers.
Really?
Now, again, this is only a pool from IMDb. I did try to go on to Rotten Tomatoes, but I think more people who are into film review on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't want to say like the average Joe is on IMDb, but like with IMDb, it is just all over the place.
Right? I think it is more the average Joe, because sometimes I question the trivia facts that they put in for some of the actors. I'm like, I don't know about that.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right? But like there were still some people who were like, hey, give this show a watch. Like, yeah, like first episode's good, but like it gets better kind of thing. And there were some people who were just like 1 star. This is trash. And I'm like, what? And so many people were like, this is the worst, like the animation is terrible. And they're like, the voice acting's terrible. And I'm like, do I need to rethink like what? Yeah. Like, I'd understand if the critique was, I don't like the style. Then I'd be like, that's fine. That's totally cool. But to say it's awful, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm hurting for the people who worked on the show. I was like,
right.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's so weird. I will, like, kind of agree. Like, there's, like, a couple times where the voice acting, like, could be better. But maybe it's because I've seen some really shitty anime dubs. So I'm like, guys, this is not, like, what are you on, for starters? And then there was one person who, like, broke down every episode and was like, well, this is wrong for this and this reason, which almost made me want to respond, because I'm like, you're an idiot. Did you even watch the episode? Because I could already tell you where you're wrong.
Yeah.
But, like I said, like maybe they could go into more in depth, but the idea is just like a what if. So I don't think they need to be focusing on every little tiny
well,
thing.
yeah, the point is to like let your imagination do the rest.
Yeah. And as far as, and to be, I guess that's the thing. I don't know if this is going to connect to the overall Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, like, if it doesn't, like, that's fine. Like, this is just like a fun, like, fun imagination thing. Like, I don't understand why. I think one of the comments that just made me just go over the edge was just like someone who's like, 1 star. They're trying to push the communist social agenda. And I was like, what? The actual like, I was, this is where I was like losing it. I was like, what the heck? Like I said, I still very much enjoy the show. I don't understand all this polarizing hate towards it. Yeah. And again, one data pool, people, just one data pool I'm gathering from. You know, like I said, I'm sure there might be some on our Rotten Tomatoes, but I think their system is filtered from like best to worst, and there's like fucking hundreds on there. I don't have fucking time to be scrolling. Yeah. But I mean, sometimes the IMDb reviews, sometimes they're so funny. Like sometimes people are so witty, or it's just like, and it's a really great time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It makes me sad, if anything. So I'm just like, what? And again, I was thinking about this a couple days ago. Like, I'm glad on some levels that we are pushing to tell better stories, to, you know, to push the envelope constantly, you know? And part of that is feedback from the community, you know? Like, what was my thought? Like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. When everyone was like, wow, that's awful, the studio took that, you know, and redid it and to make it better. And then there's people who just want to continue to create better and better stories. So I understand. And maybe we've just gone not better at movie reviews, but again, I think that maybe there's just a time where we just enjoyed movies, or now we want to push for better and better and better. But I feel sometimes in the pursuit of like, we want better, Oscar nominated 5-time award-winning things, I think we just forget to just watch something to fucking enjoy it. Yeah. Like, yeah, this doesn't need to win millions of awards. This doesn't have to be the cutting edge of animation. It's just a fun thing.
Like, yeah, exactly. It doesn't need to be completely pristine, polished, wrapped up in a bow, all like the, you know, the cinematic, like everything like that, you know, like just enjoy a movie for what it is and realize that, you know what, maybe there were some other factors into play too. Like, I mean, we've always strived to make beautiful masterpieces of anything that we made, but sometimes with budget and time and other circumstances, you can't get that, so you got to get creative. But as long as the story holds strong and, you know, everybody has a good time, that's what's important,
right? And that I don't know. I know we both share this philosophy of just like if you're not having fun, like what's the point? You know, we get to create something that, you know, hopefully people watch or either touched by it. Slight tangent. I don't like when people say I want their work to touch people. I don't know. I don't like that. That's just fucking weird. But just like, I don't know, affect someone, you know? Yeah. Either if it's like, hey, I enjoy this, or hey, this made me think about something differently. But yeah, it was bonkers. Again, I don't want to spoil too much for you, so I'll try not to. But I am noticing a very weird trend through all the episodes. That none of them end happy. Oh. Even the ones where it's like, oh yeah, like everyone's in a good place, and even this last one with the zombies, they were talking about like hope and how humans like strive, like even in the darkest times, will always strive to have hope to save. Like they're like the last shot, you're like, oh no, it's gonna be all for nothing, kind of deal. So I don't know if that's the overarching theme, or maybe that's because again, you're watching it through the watcher's perspective. Maybe for him it's like, this is how it always is, like it ends in sadness, and maybe the characters in the show, maybe in the last episode, prove him wrong. But I don't know, that's the immediate trend I'm noticing throughout these episodes so far.
Interesting.
Is that no matter what, it ends in sadness.
Interesting.
To some degree.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you ever do watch, you'll have to let me know, because I'm excited to hear your thoughts.
I will add it onto my list.
But oh well. I think that'll do that for today's podcast.
Yeah, that was a good podcast episode.
God damn. What are words in the English language? So, if you enjoyed this content, you should leave us a little like. Hell, you should subscribe, but I'm not your mother, so I can't tell you what to do. Also, feel free to leave a comment down below. Commenting on any movies we talked about, Or hell, if you want us to cover something in the future.
Yeah. Leave us a like if you're excited for Tatiana Maslany to play She-Hulk. Yeah.
I just want to give all the likes.
Yes.
Oh, hot damn. But anyways, till next time, watch all the content, and we'll see you next time.
Happy Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Monkey.
Monkey. And...